The first smile, the first step, the first word. No doubt these are unforgettable moments in a child's life. However, when Camila saw her son open his eyes for the first time, she was shocked. The 9-month waiting period for the arrival of their first child was undoubtedly magical and equally anxiety-filled in Camila and Guilherme's lives. The buying of the trousseau, the choice of colors for the room, and even the list of names. All the wonders that parents experience during the expectation of finally having the fruit of their love in their arms were no different in the lives of the couple who, on May 22, 2020, finally rushed off to the maternity ward on the way to the fulfillment of a dream. At 11 o'clock at night, little Arthur was born. There he was, a gift from God and the reason for their lives. The doctors cut the umbilical cord and took him straight to the incubator, just as a standard hospital procedure requires, so the mother could regain her strength to finally hold her son in her arms for the first time. Camila found the doctor's attitude strange, but was quickly comforted by them, who said that the boy was in perfect condition and that she'd lost a lot of blood during the birth, so they were afraid she wouldn't have the strength to hold him. Camila smiled and said that everything was fine, that she was strong enough to hold her son, and that she didn't want to wait another minute for that. The doctors picked up the child from the incubator and placed him on his mother's lap. The father was also called to meet his son, and Arthur opened his eyes for the first time. At this moment, the parents understood the strange reaction of the doctors, and panic took over the delivery room. What was supposed to be a moment of complete happiness and tenderness turned into a scene of confusion and despair, as they could not understand the little boy's gaze as he innocently stared at them. The pediatrician responsible for monitoring the pregnancy was called in to explain. "What's happening, doctor? Why do our son's eyes look like this?" Guilherme and Camila questioned, with a mixture of love and apprehension on their faces. The news spread throughout the hospital. Soon a bunch of nurses and employees crowded around the delivery room to see what was going on with the newborn's eyes, to the point that the parents questioned the pediatrician so much. At the same time, a movie played in Camila's head, the whole story that she and Guilherme had lived until then. The day they met at school, she was still a new girl in the neighborhood, and he was the most popular boy. All the girls wanted to date him, but he had only eyes for her since that first day. The courtship happened, and love flowed. They graduated from high school together, and together they also went to college. They shared every important moment, trip, accomplishment, and every stronger bond brought the young lovers closer together until they married and decided to start a beautiful family. Despite their affinity and love for each other, one of Camila's colleagues unwittingly revealed a great secret, a secret that Guilherme didn't even want to believe was true. One night while they were playing Truth and Consequence with old friends. According to this friend, Camila had spent a night with William's best friend during their school days, the one time they had fought and were separated for a month. The revelation dropped like a bomb, and even though she apologized for never having talked to him about it, it took a long time for Guilherme to forgive her and stop this story. It was only after a year when he finally accepted that this had happened at a time when they were no longer together that they returned to the subject of having a child, and life went on. From time to time, Guilherme would catch himself thinking about the issue, wondering what would happen if Camila came face to face with this former friend with whom she had spent one night. Would she be attracted to him again? Would she run away with him if this friend told her he loved her? He could hardly sleep, so he asked for some time alone to understand himself and forget the things of the past. Camila gave her husband the time he wanted because she also felt guilty for never telling him the truth. It so happens that during this time, fate decided to test the couple's love and made the three characters in this story meet in a supermarket. Guilherme was about to return home when he saw Camila standing next to Henrique, his friend from school. They met by chance, but this was enough to reignite William's jealousy. Days passed, and the couple finally got back together, and along with this reconciliation came the news of the pregnancy. The happiness was missing, for they were never to be apart again. It was the moment of greatest trial, the reason for so much curiosity, brown-eyed parents with a son with light blue eyes. Worse, their former friend had different eye colors. She swore she had never touched Enrique again, but William was overcome with doubt and jealousy. What if she had hidden the story between them again? What if, during their time apart, and little Arthur was not her son? He promptly ordered a DNA test, and Camila was highly offended. She swore that the child was his, and said that this was not fair to her, but William was firm in his decision. She then agreed to take the exam, even though she was upset. The result would come out a week later, and the atmosphere between the couple was heavy. A relationship that was not based on trust made no sense. Even though she had spent one night with this friend during her adolescence, if he loved her, he would take her word for it that nothing else happened after that. The point is, the more William looked at Arthur, even with his blue eyes that had nothing of their own, the more he was sure that this child was his son, and that it made no sense to distrust his beloved. The result arrived, as William anticipated. He tore up the papers before even opening the envelope, and apologized for mistreating his wife. He said he believed her and would never again doubt her word. Even so, Camila picked up the pieces of paper from the floor and saw the result. Arthur was Guilherme's son. The blue eyes were the legacy of some distant relative that had nothing to do with the betrayal. Time passed, and the past was finally left behind. The promise that nothing more would shake the union of that family was kept, and doubt never again entered into the home of the couple. If you liked this story, the video appearing on the right of the screen would interest you. God bless you.